So the dream came true. If you don't share when you're fortunate, you're selfish, you're going to be lonely your whole life. Nightmares are looking backwards. You have to dream. While you're here, have dreams. Talk about nightmares. Shit happens. But stay in the dream lane. And that's hope. That's forward. Nightmares are what's coming up behind you, right? Uh-oh. That's looking backwards. But when you dream, you're in the forward mindset. It's fun. You know, when you put a plan to a dream, it becomes a vision. And visions, I think, are really, really deadly in a positive sense. As an example, this house with the great energy and everything that I get compliments on, the we house, because a lot of people helped me with this. I asked for it though too, and a lot of people volunteered their help, and just that's why it's a we place, great energy. But I actually had every time I pulled in on the pier over here for the old house, which was amazing, simple shit, oh, great times, hosted a ton, loved it, some great memories. A lot of it carried forward into the house too, that we built here. But I had a plan to get this whole beach every time I pulled in from 2011. And the lady who was here in this smaller house that we ended up buying out, she called the cops on me 25 times, at least. We had a lot of problems, miscommunication, we'll call it. But it was like Silence of the Lambs. She was like spooky. It was just bad energy. You got 3 kids. She spooked them. Nobody's going to fuck with my kids. So let's call it a bad run. But then all of a sudden, but every time I pull in to the old pier, I saw the beach and I said, God, someday. So I was dreaming of this. And then my company had a dividend moment where I got access to some money, surprisingly. I was a shareholder and was accumulating stock through selling, and then we had a dividend moment. So I had some equity where I'm like, okay, I got to get that house. This just fell in my lap. Now it's my time. So we had so I came up here for an ice fishing competition, and the Silence of the Lambs house is sitting right here, standing by the fire pit with the guys. Beautiful January day. It was like Colorado. It was 50 degrees, but the lake was all ice. And I'm standing there and I'm like, all right, man, make your move. So I walked up her property. I knocked on her door and had a conversation with her. And I did the power of nice. Humbled, made her see eye to eye with me. We talked. And then I gave her a story about a friend that was interested in her property, but I was talking about myself. And she knew it. And she later called me out on it, and I told her, great read, and that's exactly what I did. But she ended up giving me her cell phone number, and a week later she was under contract. And I was able to get her property, that beach that I pulled into, that dream that I had. Money situation unexpectedly got better, and then all of a sudden I put a little plan in place in my head, and then I had the balls to go up on her doorstep after all the past history that we had. The power of nice came down a level and won her over, so the dream came true. That's an example. But if you have to dream, which is moving forward in life, nightmares are looking backwards. When you put a plan to a dream, it becomes a vision. I think you got a really good chance of living your dream. Really do. You got to put a plan to it. Not all of them, but do dream. often as you can. And then when you suddenly, a plan comes to your head, it becomes a vision, quick strike, do it. And then all of a sudden, you sit there in La La Land every day with a dream. It's almost like adult Disney. When I sit here looking at this house and this beach, I love telling this story because something hit me, said strike, do it. And it's such a great feeling when you do that because you overcome fear, all these goblins, doubts in your head and everything else. And then you share it with others because you're fortunate. If you don't share when you're fortunate, you're selfish, you're going to be lonely your whole life. And but dream often. Always dream. Hey guys, if any of this has made sense for you or made an impact, which is the ultimate purpose, hopefully this helps you have a better life and be fulfilled. That's the goal here today. Making an impact is probably one of the most rewarding things you could have once you get clarity in life. If you like what you heard, check out the videos.